Manifesting with Meg, and I'm here with Mari Espinoza, and I'm so excited to have her with me. We are here to talk about the power of persistence today. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody back. It's been quite a couple of months in January, February, and now we're into the month of wisdom, profound wisdom. So everything that we did in January and February we get to bring into our March, and as the days get longer and there's more light, we can use that light to actually catapult us to more transforming our dreams into reality. So before further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to Mari. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting her through Red Bike, which is the spinning studio in Brickell, but I've gotten more of the pleasure to meet her and become friends with her over time. And her story to me is amazing. She is a superstar, and I'm so excited to introduce you all to her today. So she's a single mom to 4 amazing kids. She dedicates her time managing Red Bike Studios in Brickell and teaches classes throughout the Miami-Dade area in spinning. And she's a fantastic instructor, amazing. Also, she teaches at Equinox. She does bar at Equinox and also Life Gym. She has shifted careers from a stay-at-home mom, so she is recreating and reinventing herself as we even talk today. Imagine, I don't even know what she's up to. Every time I see her, she's doing something amazing and incredible more. And so basically, she had the life of a stay-at-home mom homeschooling her kids to the challenges that we face when different life circumstances hit us, and you have to move on because of divorce and actually renegotiating your lifestyle. So she has and is a perfect example of the power of persistence, and I'm so excited to bring her never quit attitude to the Manifesting with Meg 30 minutes. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us today, Mari.
Thanks, Meg, for having me here. I really appreciate it. So excited. Nice to have the listeners.
So before we go on, I wanted to tell you that I've watched you over the years, and I can see how much wisdom, or how much more wisdom you've gained over the years. And it's interesting because I'd like you to share a little bit of your story with everybody here today, and let them know where you're coming from and why your story is unique and not so much unique, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's a loaded question because it could take a long time, but I'll try to give a condensed version. Basically, I was married for 11 years. As you mentioned, I was a stay-at-home mom. I homeschooled for, I believe, the majority of those years from when my oldest could start school up until she was about 9. So I worked at home full time, and then when I divorced, obviously I had to start providing for myself. I was not the breadwinner, so basically had to pick up a new career for myself that could not only provide for myself but also for my 4 kids. So it was a very difficult divorce, and there was a custody battle that made it very challenging. But I was able to, I guess I learned a lot through that, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I believe that all happened for a reason, and it has made me a stronger person as a result of that. So.
Amazing. So it's interesting because we're talking about persistence. What exactly does persistence mean to you?
Mm-hmm. Persistence means that no matter what life throws at you, and no matter how you feel, because we all have our good days, our bad days, our highs, our lows, but no matter what, you keep moving forward, and you have, something that drives you and moves you, because again, there's going to be things that will try to set you back and hold you back, but you've got to keep going. So that, for me, that's what persistence is.
Wow. Well, clearly there are some days that are easier than others. I'm sure on the path that and then with 4 children, that's quite and they're all young ages. They're not older children either. So how do you negotiate all of that with your busy career, your busy lifestyle, and everything else that's piled on you as far as that persistence and tenacity that you have?
Yeah. Honestly, some days I look back and I'm like, I don't even know how I managed to do it. Like, honestly, it's just, I was literally alone, parenting, working, picking up from school, taking them, back home, dropping them off, going to work, coming home, getting ready for the next day, getting myself ready, getting ready. So, it was a lot. I really, honestly, some days I'm like, I just, you know, when you have to do it, you do it. There was no alternative.
So I guess what the question arises for me is like, what is that one thing that inspires you to keep going and not giving up?
Yeah.
When you have all of this on your plate and you're challenged with really, really significant life-altering events that, you know, make it, you know, some people don't want to get out of bed. At least I know that would challenge me. That's for sure.
I think it's all about mindset. I think I came to a point finally where I was like, this is all happening for a reason. No matter, you know, obviously it's hard, it's challenging, it's not comfortable. But I started realizing, like, this is my calling, this is my purpose. Like, all these things are happening to bring me to a place of living out my calling, and where I really excel. And that's like, and that is in that, you know, just imparting like a no quitter attitude, you know, that no matter what happens in life, we can keep going. And we the universe finds a way of shifting us and shaking us to put us on the path that we need to be, and our purpose. And then when I started realizing that, I was like, you know what? We all go through things. You know, we all have, everyone that I teach in my room when I'm in class teaching, I'm like, no one here isn't having an easy day or has an easy life. But I think in this moment, we all need to help each other. And it's like, okay, right now in this moment, I can give that to them.
So I've had the pleasure of going to your classes, and I think that the whole experience from the beginning, and I go to the 7 o'clock, so, you know, dragging myself there at 7 is quite a challenge. Anyway, I know it's like, oh my God. But you always say at the beginning, and I know this is something that actually helps me a lot, is that, you know, it's half the battle to get there, right? Put one foot in front of it. But, you know, that's how you start, I would say, in the majority of your classes. It's kind of like a kind of shift, you know, even if you're feeling like crap, you're there, you know? So, you know, what is your message when you're like, how do you get up there? And like, you know, even if you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm behind the eight, like, how do you get up there and you inspire all these people to, you know, better health and better fitness?
Well, you know, I think knowing that, you know, we don't always want to do what is best for us, knowing that it's like, okay, this is not in my nature to want to take this time aside, to be, you know, putting myself first. As a mom, we can put ourselves in the back burner and be like, oh, well, I'm too tired, I'm too this, or the kids this, or, you know, I have 1,000 things to do. But it's like, you know what? No, being here right now in this moment is going to help me. It's actually medicine to me. It's like a preventative, you know, health. Is actually going to do us more, you know, better than harm if we don't come, you know, if we don't do the hard thing.
And the coolest thing I find with you is that you would never know, you know, what you just are there and you're present. So you have that moment where you're actually in tune with everybody there. And it just seems like you take us to another place. So how do you get there? Like, how do you do that? Like, when you have your whole, you know, how do you get present then, you know, to empower so many people?
Well, you know, I know, like, obviously for me, it's easier because I get paid to do it. Well, so part of me is like, okay, I got to do this because I got to.
Okay, wait a second. I know a lot of people who go to their jobs because they're paid and they're not there. Okay, I think that they have left the building way before they get on the bus even or whatever. So I know that it takes a very special person to be intentional. So don't shortchange yourself. Let me tell you.
I mean, I think that the fact that I'm like, you know what, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And I love that I know, like, when I'm teaching, it's like I am almost like a different person in the sense that I know this is different in the sense that I get to walk out my purpose. And I'm like, no, this is who I am. You know, my goal and my chore right now, so to speak, is like to inspire people, you know, to push them to be better for themselves, because I know it's helped me, you know.
So tell me a little bit about that, because you are health and fitness. I mean, going from spinning to, I don't know how many classes you teach a week, to bar at Equinox, I don't know how many, and then you have this other Muse class at Equinox too. And then now, I mean, you are about fitness. So what has fitness done for you to help you continue and persist in your life to reach your goals?
fitness came obviously throughout when I was younger and through my high school years, middle school years, I was very physically active. I was in sports and all that. But it was really when I started going through a really tough point in my marriage, that everything came to like light, where I was like, I'm done putting myself on the back burner. Yeah. I'm done not doing what I want to do. I'm done listening to what other people think I should be doing and my role. Right. And I was like, no, I'm going to take care of myself and do what I love to do. Right. Like so many people can talk down on, you're doing what you love to do. That's so selfish. Yeah. And wow. Like, really? Yeah. It's crazy. No. It's crazy. Yeah. And it's just like, because I was the stay-at-home mom, right? So for me to put myself first like that was like frowned upon. Wow. And so
people actually said that to you, that it was selfish for you to go out and do what you really, wow, isn't it interesting?
And then I started providing for myself through it, and there was talk about that too. And I'm like, if it wasn't for this, I would not be able to support myself and 4 kids through a divorce.
Okay, so I think, this is great, because how do you drown out the naysayers when they come? Because they come and they're loud sometimes, and it's like, oh my God, you need to stop. You can't do this, because I have a goal in mind and I have a mission, and these little the people, they always say the people who are the most critical of others are just sitting and watching. They're not the ones who are doing. So how do you drown out all the naysayers when it is your focus and your goal that you have right in front of you?
It's, one of those questions, it's that really kind of hard to answer, because it wasn't just me doing it as a single person with no kids. Right. But I had to add the fact that I had kids and all that, and the divorce. So it was like, okay, partly I need to do this because this is how I'm going to provide for myself. Right. And then partly like, this is where I am like blossoming as a person in my strength. So why wouldn't I want to do this for myself? Yeah. And then you learn who is supposed to be in your life and who isn't supposed to be in your life. And you have to cut those people out. I mean, it sounds harsh. It sounds like, I wish it wasn't like you have to cut them out, but sometimes you do, because if you can't, you need to find people who are going to encourage you and motivate you and who support you.
And you hear that? Encourage, motivate, and support. Yeah. Surround yourself with those. And you can detach with love for those people who don't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I've had to, with blood. Yeah. With blood members, family members, I've had to do that because, at the end of the day, I was like, I'm not harming anybody. Right. There will be obviously difficulties for people understanding the calling that you're taking. Right. But if you're not harming someone, harming yourself, then why should anyone want to stop you?
It's very interesting that you say that, because, people who love you think that they have their best interest at heart. And the thing is that you have to put the oxygen mask on you first. And you have to love you so that it will catapult you further. And the thing is that, I hear you. It's not like, I'm not listening to you, but I have to follow my heart. And I think that with you, that's probably what you're saying when you're like, I love my family, and that, when we know better, we do better. But at the same time, I have to do what I'm called to do. I'm here to do. And it's, you just have to move forward accordingly. And I think that that's something that you've certainly done throughout this entire process, and I'm sure it's been very challenging too.
Yeah. I think people think, because we're in the same family, my path has to look like your path. Okay. And it's not like that. Yeah. Like we all, interesting. If someone's harming you emotionally, spiritually, physically, you're not going to stay in that toxic situation for someone else's benefit.
Well, what would you like? So you want to empower women. So what would you say to women who are afraid? Yeah. Like, I think when people say you persist, I think it's in the face of fear. You can still go on in the face of fear. So what would you say to anyone to inspire them? I mean, certainly I have come to your class before with tears rolling down my eyes, because the life gets too much, but at least the things that you say on the bike and inspire you on, it's like we're riding together. So like, what would you say to people who may feel stuck in their dark night of the soul and not able to pull themselves out?
I mean, if the fear comes from what's going to happen to me if I leave this situation versus the fear of if I stay in this situation, it's going to be more harm than good.
Right.
Then pick the first one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the long run, you're all that you have. At the end of the day, no one has your back better than you do.
Yeah.
You're the person you have to be in, day out. You're going to be there for yourself in the long run. So it's like, you know, doing something that if you know, it's going to cost you to change to get out of that toxic situation. But if that far outweighs the, you know, the second part of like just staying in it because you're scared of what am I going to do for myself? Well, no, pick that, you know, just trust yourself,
right?
That you're going to look after yourself and you're going to find a way.
And you're kind of a testament to that spirit of trust because you are on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
Like you could have been stalled there, but you decided to push through and now you're on the other. Of course, they still linger and they like whisper in your ears. He's like, no, don't bother me. But the bottom line is that you're on the other side of fear. And when you're there, can you share like the whole, like a little bit of the experience so people know that, you know, even in your class, go there, you know, and that you're a soulmate, a soul tribe waiting to assist because, you know, once people push through, they get inspired and they want to imitate those that they see and they hold up because, you know, we never know what's going on behind the closed doors of each person. So, you know, at least kindred spirits will find and align with each other. So you help. But I know that that's one of your goals is to empower other people through where have you been?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, you know, thankfully I'm grateful and I tell people every time at the end of the class, I'm like, I thank you for coming. I had the privilege of like leading you today. It really is a privilege because I get to express myself and speak just words of encouragement. And I think we all need that because, you know, we don't know what anyone's going through.
Yeah.
And we can just say like, if I can give you one thing right now that helps you feel better, to do whatever you need to do today, then I want to do that. And so just, I feel like we all need like every day to be filled with hope and like hearing other people's story. It doesn't mean that we find the same solutions, we do the same things. The outcomes are not going to be the same. The way we go about, you know, finding the solutions to our daily circumstances and problems, they're not going to be the same, but at least like to say, okay, she did this, she went through that.
Awesome.
I can go through this.
So, you know, I find people with incredible determination to take themselves from one place to the next amazing because I don't think that they realize when they're going through it how much of a beacon of hope or light. And that's where the wisdom comes because you gain the wisdom, you take that light with you to the next step. So that being said, I think that when you come around to it in the end, your children are watching you.
Yeah.
You're beautiful and I've met them. They're just beautiful, lovely, wonderful kids. And you know, the way you've come to the agreement with your ex-husband and everything, you both are doing a great job raising these kids together because you come to a same place out of love because these beautiful people are you created out of love. Yeah. So I know that you've also told me that, you know, as far as the, you know, persistence, you're very good at communicating with your children. And that's a value for you is to have an open kind of space so that, you know, they see what's going on. Kids are really smarter than we know. So they see what's going on. So to keep them in the loop rather than, you know, keeping them out and they're questioning everything, you've offered that safe space. And how do you, like as a single parent, how do you reconcile that with your children and allow them to ask you the questions that maybe they have, you know, percolating in their little heads and, you know, to keep them in a balance and a healthy state of mind while, you know, we go through those challenges and those dark points in our life.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I think sometimes they know a little more than I would like them to know, but it was only because, you know, and people tell me, like, make sure they're not listening and, you know, like you always want to paint a good picture of the father and, you know, people involved and all that. And I'm like, obviously that's my goal. I wouldn't want to not do that, and I would want to shield them from certain things. But they've had to probably listen to more things than I would have liked for them to, just because of the circumstances. Literally was parenting on my own, would be driving home, picking them up from school, and I'd be talking to my divorce lawyer and, you know, cheers and crying, and how can I not have them listening? I mean, they had to. So it got to a point where I was like, listen, that's great advice, but I think, again, you can't take one thing and apply it across the board. Sometimes you have to just look at your circumstances and say, okay, that sounds great and that's nice, but in this moment, what my kids have gone through and what they're going through, it's appropriate for me right now because they've had to hear things, see things. I need them to be able to talk to me and ask me the hard questions. Or some people would be like, no, don't do that. But again, it's like, I feel as their mom, that's my gut telling me like, no, I'm their mom. I know what they need. I know what they're feeling. I see it in their face. I hear it. They have an open door. They want to ask me whatever they want to ask me. I'll answer them. Obviously, sometimes I don't go as deep as maybe I would with an adult or whatnot. But they need to be able to feel free with their mom. Especially because it pertains to me and like things that I kind of put them through it, you know. So how could I just block them out of it? It would be unfair.
You know, it's funny because I personally agree with that mindset. And, you know, there's different strokes for different folks. Everybody handles their family scenarios in different ways. And you just, like what you said, you have to trust your gut as to what's appropriate for your life and do so with the highest intentions out of love for your children, which I know, knowing your kids, you can tell that they're very well loved. And, you know, the interesting thing is we talked about before about this whole trust, and you've also trusted the universe with you welcomed new love into your life, which, you know, coming from a place of, you know, a relationship that may not have worked out to the way you thought it was going to welcome that into your life altogether. Wow. I mean, people were like, oh my God, that's some people might say crazy, and then some people might say, that's awesome. Wow, because you're welcoming still the beauty and the love of the universe into your life, or, you know, so how do you get there? How do you, you know, say, I'm not going to be jaded by my life, and I'm going to open myself up to, you know, the love of a partner in your scenario?
Yeah. I mean, I really had to go through many emotional highs and lows. I really went through a lot of tears. I had to shake off and undo a lot of wrong thinking, and I'm still doing it. I definitely have not arrived.
Well, they say when you arrive, it's usually when you're dead. So, you know, I think you're in it to win it. So I guess, you know, that's good.
Situation.
Isn't that the wisdom, right? You take what you can take and then you move on, which is awesome. So I find that amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and the way it's happened, and, you know, he's an amazing person, and, you know, the way it all unfolded, I mean, it was never like, I would have never imagined it. But I think I was looking for something. I was like, you know what? Just because my past happened the way it did doesn't mean I can have another chance at finding love, you know, and finding someone I'm really compatible with, and we have amazing chemistry and we have fun together. And, you know, we've had to go through a lot of things because of the unique circumstances, being single or divorced with 4 kids. So it's not just like me, but you take
go have fun on a weekend, but
me and 4 more. Me party of 4.
That's right.
So anyhow,
focus on the party, right? It's the party of 4 because you definitely have raised 4 really, really good people. You know, you can tell they're going to be even better, and I think by virtue of the example that you lead them with, you know, not giving up, never quitting, never losing sight of even when it's, you know, you don't feel like, you know, financially you're doing 100,000% where you want to be, but you know that by not giving up, at least, like I said, you're in it. You know, you're in it, and one foot in front of the other. And you know, I have been the beneficiary of you and your platform without, you know, having any stake. You offer it willingly, and you said with gratitude, which is a beautiful concept completely, because it is the love and gratitude that you give wherever you are, and that makes you a successful person. That added value that you give to the lives that you come across, so you persist, but I benefit from it. So, and then I turn around and whatever I'm doing, you've impacted my life. So those connections are built. That's where the wisdom is actually fortified, because I know that, you know, as I walk through this, I mean, I have a friend, Janet Woods, she always says we're here to walk each other home, which is basically we are. So every soul or every person who shows up on your path, it's that beautiful connection. And it's because you choose to empower others to do, you know, in their lives, what they're meant to do, what they're called to do. So that being said, with regard to you, you know, tell me, what is your desires, your visions, your platform, and where do you see yourself going with all of this amazing message and calling that you're bringing to this world? Yeah. We welcome it too, by the way. We all welcome it, because we all need more people like you, you know?
Yeah. Well, definitely it is starting with what I do on a daily basis, and that's teaching my fitness classes. I'm really awesome. Like, that is my humble beginning. That is how I launched my career, was through teaching cycling. And so, you know, it's gonna stay there, as far as, like, I know for sure no matter what happens, no matter where this goes, but that will be like my home base is through my classes. And really, obviously, I have such a passion for health and fitness, and making it just a part of your lifestyle. Yeah. So,
and the endorphin kick. Oh my God! Even the pain when you do your sprints, the endorphin kick after, it's like, oh, yay! You know, I wish I could put my hands up in the air and woo!
It's amazing. It really, I mean, obviously, scientifically, there's proof of that and the benefits of that, and what we get out of, you know, our heart rate and exercising, pumping blood, you know. So for sure, that's gonna be there. But long term, I mean, I have some things up my sleeve that I want to do creatively. I'm really silly. I like having fun. I like goofing around. So I don't know, maybe something with that. I want to make people feel like what they're going through doesn't stink so horribly. Like, it takes a little edge off the pain. Yeah. And I want them to do it, you know, feel it in a way that is welcoming and inviting and free. Like, it's a free space for them. And I think we go, like, laughter is medicine for the soul. Oh, yeah. So I love, like, I would be so sad so many days, and I would just watch comedians, like different comedians. Oh
yeah, that's your guilty pleasure.
That awesome. Literally, that was like my lullaby. You know, at night I just find a comedian to watch, and I would just that would quiet my soul, and it's gonna be through that. Like, I just want to marry the two.
Are you going to be a comedian?
I would love to.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Oh my God, you gotta invite me to your first show. I'm there. It actually starts. As long as I want the butt of any of your jokes, we're all good.
You know, it starts. I try to, you know, do some things. I try to make it laughable moments during class, and then I'll, you know, say little things. I'll make fun of myself or make fun of my situation. Because I mean, you know, that's what it is. Like, we just, you know, we just have to, like, see the silver lining, and sometimes it's just, you know, so that's what it is.
Well, you know, they say life is too important to be taken seriously. That's Oscar Wilde, and it is one of my favorite quotes ever. And like I said, you know, you got to show up, but you really, really, and it's to be enjoyed. So, you know, the days can be dark, but they're going to get better. You keep moving forward and never quit, like you, and then there you are. So at the beginning of our evening, I asked you to set an intention. And you said it's to inspire others and empower them, especially women who are going through situations where they feel that they're stuck in a bad scenario. And I also told you to pick a number. So what number did you choose?
I think 26.
26. Okay, so this is, once again, my book, Magical Guide to Bliss. And there is a terrible light. But anyway, you guys know what it is already. And she picked 26. Which 26 is, okay, so here we go. Okay. And 26 is, you are exactly where you're meant to be.
There you go. That. Oh my gosh, I love that.
So here we go, and you get to read it. Do you want to read it? Sure. It's your intention, so there you go. Go ahead, read the quote, and then read everything.
There are no mistakes, no coincidences. All events are blessings given to us to learn from. Elizabeth Kolber-Ross, Swiss-American psychiatrist and pioneer in near-death studies. Everything in your life is a blessing. There are no mistakes. Wow.
There you go. I love that.
Oh my God.
That's the magic inside of me. Oh yeah.
Crazy.
That's the magical.
Accept this mantra and you're free to see the world through grateful eyes. Accept this mantra and you're ready to accept life's experiences with a loving heart.
Love it.
Oh my God. Accept this mantra and allow amazing grace to encapsulate you as your soul's journey continues. There are no coincidences. Every experience is presented to you as an opportunity to bring something wonderful to your world.
There you go.
Each person who crosses your path delivers a message that will help you to understand the universe more fully. Each place you visit will help you to discover something that you desperately seek. The joyful moments will teach you gratitude as you celebrate life. Even the challenging moments will teach you perseverance as you value the wisdom gained through hardship. Without judgment, in both the good and bad times, you will embrace the gifts each situation offers as perfect synchronicities present to guide you along your path.
That's amazing.
Amazing, Meg. I'm like,
I didn't take a number. I didn't take a number. No.
Oh my God.
Key, so.
Any way you look at it, as long as you adopt the perspective that you are exactly where you are meant to be.
That's right.
You find peace in knowing that it is all part of some grand design as the universe is unfolding exactly as it should for your highest good.
There you go.
Magical key to bliss. List the challenges you have had and the blessings received.
Yes. There you go.
I
don't pick this. So I don't plan this. I don't pick it, but that's where the magic comes in. So I just want to say that this 30 minutes has been amazing, and the whole point of persistence is, I think when you look at you look at things in life from a different perspective, that this is not the end of the world. It's building a foundation for you to be catapulting into the next step, and you need the lesson there.
Yeah.
It changes the energy. And if you feel like you're stuck at any way, stretch, or form, you go and find your connections to support you and hold you up. Because there are people out there like Mari, like me, who are willing to take you along, because we've been there. We've been there, and we thought it was the end of the world, and it wasn't. It was dark, and then there's light. And that's the beauty of this life. We go ups and downs, the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows. And ultimately, there will be light again, and you will shine your light on others to show them that, because that is what we're all here for, is to walk each other home. And that's the beauty of this life experience. And if you give up, then you'll never know that, which is the biggest thing I could say, is never give up. So in light of that, I want to thank Mari for joining me here tonight. It's been a fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so 7 o'clock in the morning, she's amazing.
Monday,
Wednesdays. I swear, if I am going anywhere on the bike, I'm going somewhere with Mari. So that's for sure. And she's at Equinox over here in Brickell Heights.
Also, 3 locations.
3 locations. So you're welcome to tell them where.
Yeah.
I only know the Brickell Heights location.
So South Beach, Brickell Heights, bar classes, the Muse, one of the new signature formats at Equinox. Almost at Life, doing a bar class. Red Bike, doing indoor cycling.
Red Bike. She can be found there. So if you're looking for an endorphin kick and definitely a stress release and a natural high, go find Mari. She's amazing. Also, I'd like to invite anyone who wants a complimentary session with me as far as coaching is concerned. I'm available. I'll put my email in the side comments afterwards, as well as Mari's information, so you can contact her on Instagram. She has an Instagram feed. Follow her. It's very inspirational and amazing. And once again, I want to toast to Mari and your intentions and your inspirations, and here's to empowerment and persistence, right?
Oh my God.
All right. Mwah. All right, guys.
Thank you guys.
Good night until we see you again. Bye.
Bye.